Hello friends and welcome to Fire Emblem Discussion. As you first meet her, Rhea appears to be a benevolent and altruistic person. You're to expect nothing less from the bishop of Fodlan's most prominent religion. But as you play through the game, it becomes apparent that she has a tormented soul that has endured trauma beyond what any person should have to experience. With the help of your comments from the poll asking the question, how do you feel about Rhea, we're going to explore why Rhea is the way she is, why she is such a hard character to pin down, and ultimately try to come to a conclusion as to how the creators of the story intended Rhea to be perceived. And of course, there will be Rhea related spoilers ahead, as well as some major story spoilers for part 1 of every route. When you first encounter Rhea, she obviously has a vested interest in the protagonist, making him or her one of the 3 professors of the future rulers of Fodlan. Rhea trusts this seemingly strange young man to lead the house of his choosing. On our first playthrough, this may seem odd, you most likely brushed it off as video game logic and kept playing. This interest in Byleth continues to show itself as Rhea trusts him with the sword of the creator, something her most trusted advisor Sedith advised against. Again, this could be seen as some amount of video game logic. The main character has to get a special weapon, therefore Rhea lets Byleth keep it. Though, when actually thought about, it's kind of odd that she left a heavily guarded church relic in the hands of someone she only recently met. The final nail in this coffin comes from the death of Geralt. The player reads a few passages in his diary from dates preceding Geralt's departure from Garreg Mach. Here we learn that Rhea did something to Byleth while he was still an infant, though it doesn't go into specifics. This diary entry takes Rhea from someone who trusts Byleth because he seems like a good guy, to someone who the player really needs to think twice about. You start questioning her motives even more than before. It becomes obvious that she is more than a kind-hearted church leader. She has some major skeletons in her closet. This whole circle of trust and distrust is explained by probably Nick. I don't know if this is what the writers were going for, but I'm still confused about how I should feel about Rhea. She had moments where she is kind and wise, and other moments she is selfish and cruel. Let's go into some of those selfish and cruel moments she displays. Upon capturing members of the Western sect, she flips a 180 and loses it on them. She yells and threatens them, ultimately sending them to death for their crimes. This is a completely different side of her than she has shown up to this point in the story. Another scene that really shows Rhea's ruthless side is when the Flame Emperor's identity is revealed. Infinite warping ability.
Futile, wicked girl. The Church of Seiros will raise its entire army against you until you have been captured and punished. You have defiled the holy tomb, dishonored the goddess, and humiliated your brethren. That crime will never be erased. Even if you burn in the eternal flames and spill all of your blood into the goddess's soil. Come, Professor. Let us return and decide upon our next course of action.
She goes ballistic. This scene actually made me afraid of Rhea and what she might be capable of doing. And as far as her capabilities go and her willingness to do despicable things to get things done is best expressed by malevolent divinity. Edelgard burns a ballista platform when she expects there to be nothing but enemies on it. Rhea burns the capital of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus with its civilians and her army still inside of it. Edelgard treats people with dignity and respect, killing them only when she deems it necessary or merciful. Rhea determines that she's literally going to murder you the moment you decide to disobey her order to murder a teenager, referring to you less as a person than as property. Rhea's first reaction in a lot of instances is violence and murder. While she may feel it is her right as Archbishop and the daughter of a goddess to decide who lives and who dies, it doesn't change the fact that she is morally in the wrong here. So, with all of that information in tow, what were the writers trying to do with Rhea? How did they want the player to feel about her? For an answer to this question, let's take a look at the top rated comment from the poll, which comes from Zukin, who says, I think it was the developer's intention to make her feel warm, distant, and suspiciously powerful. I think they pulled that off extremely well. And I would have to agree. Rhea has some tender moments with the player. She gives off the vibes of a caring mother figure at times, but then there are other moments where she remains aloof, preferring to keep things to herself. Then seemingly out of nowhere, she snaps and threatens to kill everyone in sight with her immense power. All of this boils down to a character that every player will feel differently about. To some, the caring and kind qualities resonate with them. To others, the tyrannical aspects of Rhea's personality are impossible to forgive despite her tragic past. Narratively, this makes for a really interesting character, but on a more psychological level, the player just isn't sure how to feel about her. Alright, that's all for today. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Fire Emblem discussion, and let me know in the comments how you feel about Rhea, and how the writers wanted you to feel about Rhea. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say on this one. Anyways, thanks for watching.